So here we are, Mazzy's mix number 13 and another year. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And I have a couple of new albums, but maybe let's do this first. Number 13, lucky number 13 of Mazzy's mix, where I just add a lot of stuff together, mix it around and spit it out to you. Let's have some record store porn first. I had pre-ordered this record at a local store for some reason, and it's been sitting there for about a week and a half because I was on the road. And so I went back to Easy Street Records in Seattle and picked it up. So here's a little, just a visual interlude of that store. And then on the other side of this, I will show the record. Cool store. The cafe's finally open again. That's in West Seattle. There's been a live Pearl Jam recording from Easy Street Records. It's a great shop, and you can see the vinyls has expanded. All the vinyl used to be upstairs, and downstairs was CDs. CDs are being condensed to that small area. But you can go have, great, fairly cheap breakfast, bacon and eggs, and steak and eggs, and sandwiches, cappuccino. And actually, if you look if you saw the end of that video, there's a little bar upstairs there, a little kind of bar. Anyway, Mudhoney. This is the 30th anniversary of Mudhoney's, what's this thing called? Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge, the 30th anniversary deluxe edition, which includes some demos and outtakes and some cool stuff. I always love this package. I never had this album. Obviously, sort of a post-punk, pre-grunge staple of the Northwest Seattle scene. Mudhoney, lovely artwork. And I pre-ordered this and was ready for pickup, and I finally grabbed it. So that's the only thing I went. I'm kind of not buying many records now because I'm still going through my friend's collection, and little by little, I want to showcase some things that I'm going to keep from the Coleman collection. That'll be after this. And I do want to show this. This is special. My friend, the archivist, that if you've been following my channel, you know her. She gave me 3 things for my birthday. This lovely Blue Note white t-shirt. Need to wash this puppy. I always wash my t-shirts first, which you should, to get any shrinkage. Inside out too, so you don't wreck the, wash these things inside out. Any things with type and stuff, they'll last longer. But she gave me this album, the Highway Women, which is pretty much a throwback or a response too many decades too late. I mean, obviously we had Trio with Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris, and Dolly Parton, which wasn't the same thing, but the Highwaymen in the 80s, I believe it was, you know, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, the Highwaymen, 2 great records. 1 great record, and the second one was pretty good. I know this record because I've had a digital copy of this that my friend allowed me to borrow temporarily, listen to in the car. And this is sort of a, you know, again, one of those little super groups of more of the, I only am familiar with this, like, obviously Brandi Carlile, Natalie Hemby, Maren Morris, and Amanda Shires are the Highway Women. And sort of the alt country, not the real slick country people. It's a sweet record. It's really a sweet record. So thank you for that. And this other record that the archivist gave me, I think it's the only remaining album I needed of Betty Davis. And Betty Davis, of course, all entwined in Miles Davis, married to Miles Davis, and kind of dirty, funky. I mean, it's actually called Nasty Gal, so it's not my editorializing. This is one nasty, funky album, and it's so fantastic. I played this last night on my birthday and just cranked it a bit. So thank you to the archivist for that. So in all these mixed videos, there's going to be little bits of the Coleman collection, my friend's collection. I'll show things that I've pulled. I will also, maybe if I have visitors. Now, again, Coffee Dave and I have not started promoting and really diving deep in, but I've had a couple of friends who are locals do sort of VIP local viewings and pulls. So that may not seem fair, but this is not a fair situation. This is a friends and family. If you were in Seattle and I knew you really well, you could come by and take a look. But Mark from the Vinyl Crush from Portland, Oregon, had been up in the Seattle area for the weekend and visiting his daughter. So he came by, and here's a little montage of him looking through, pulling some records. He pulled a package of titles that he purchased, and he possibly will show them on his channel. I'm not kind of divulging what people are buying. It's none of my business to do that. So he may do that, and we'll see how this rolls out. And then I'm going to show some of my early pulls for my own collection.
I got some troubles, but they won't last. I'm gonna lay right down here in the grass, and pretty soon all my troubles will pass. 'Cause I'm in Sugar Town. I never had a dog that liked me some. Never had a friend or wanted one. So I just lay back and laugh at the sun. 'Cause I'm in Sugar Town.
Now, a few records that I pulled out. It's going to take literally months to go through the Coleman collection. Some which we're selling off, some Coffee Dave and I are keeping. This is the one set that I knew Coleman had that I really was looking forward to. And again, it's that bittersweet thing of enjoying the music. But this is music Coleman enjoyed too. But this is a mosaic box, and this is the complete Capitol recordings of Nat King Cole Trio. I've had this on mosaic since it came out on CD, and the CD is 18 CDs. And Mosaic is somewhat of an audiophile label that Michael Cascuna, who had run Blue Note Records through Capitol Records, had put together. mostly direct mail sales. And I have like maybe 3 or 4 CDs from Mosaic. I never bought the vinyl collections, and they didn't do as many vinyl. Is that period of time when vinyl wasn't really big, but I kind of always lusted after this one. It's so overkill for people, but this is amongst my favorite music of all time, and it's the Nat King Cole Trio. So not the really orchestrated stuff of Capitol Records, but it has literally every take of everything from Route 66 to just any wonderful jazzy pop trio stuff of Nat Cole's you can imagine. And this is 27, yes, 27 LPs. And it's just, I mean, is that too much? Can you have too much Nat King Cole stuff? I just love, he's one of the best voices in jazz pop. And this period especially, it just is incredible to me. So Mosaic Records, Nat King Cole. I'd done a video recently with John in the UK on the new Prince reissue and some of our favorite just Prince albums we wanted to showcase. I'll put a link below. That's really a fun video with John. And there's a handful of Prince records I didn't have. I never had, because they came out during those CD years when vinyl was, few and far between. And so here they are. There's Come on Warner Brothers, right? Yeah. I have had this on CD. This is one I really actually like quite a bit. What a wild cover, right? So it's great. I see Coleman picked all this stuff up. Again, I have all these on CD. The Gold Experience by Prince. And this is 2 LPs. I just love this period. The artist formerly known as The Symbol. I have this also, I believe, and this is Prince and the New Power Generation. What year was this? So he got it for Amoeba, $7.95. God, so he bought it used. This is definitely a UK pressing, but that's cool. $8 in US. God, wow. And of course, I have this on CD. I always had bittersweet feelings about this. I think in the Batman movie that Tim Burton did with Jack Nicholson and Prince, that whole thing just didn't fit. Really? Let's just get a soundtrack. Let's put some Prince music in with the Joker and I'm dancing around. I mean, kind of a wild thing. I do have the CD of this. I never had it on vinyl. And this is a promo copy that he got for $6. $6. Again, random. We went through some things. And ABBA, Gracias por la Música. I used to have this, and in my purge, my mid-90s purge, I got rid of it, which I always missed. I have it on CD. Oro is called, on CD, O-R-O. And what this is fantastic, if you're an ABBA fan especially. Coleman and I are a big ABBA fan, and Coleman and I saw ABBA in 1979 at the Concord Pavilion in the Bay Area, the only time ABBA ever toured the U.S. So I'm grateful that I saw ABBA right at their peak, really. And this is them singing their greatest hits in Spanish. And it's a hoot, and it's really fun. And there's a store that Coleman turned me on to, and he got this for $5.99, and it's called Musica Latina, and it was in the Mission District on Mission Street. So it was a great record music store. Then obviously they transitioned into compact disc as well. All Spanish speaking, from Mexico, South America. It was a great, great shop. Doesn't exist anymore. But what a great comp. I think there's another one in the collection that I'll be selling eventually, but I think he had 2 copies of this, so I'm really, really excited about that. And here's just some that I'm keeping too. This is one that I missed out on, and this is Analog Productions, Elvis, 24 Karat Hits, beautiful audiophile recording. I love this cover. This is one I've never heard. Coleman was a huge Dusty Springfield fan, as am I, but I've never even seen this record. This is a UK import, and this is called Where Am I Going on Phillips Records, Dusty Springfield. What a great, that sexy, soul, gravelly sound, R&B pop sound. If you don't have Dusty in Memphis, it's a must-have record. But obviously Wishing and Hoping, she did, and so many great hits. Breakfast in Bed. Sunny is on here, which is a wonderful song by Bobby Hebb. Love this cover. This must be around 68. I mean, I don't know what year this is, but based on that cover art, looks like 67, 68, right in that wheelhouse. Someone's going to correct me because you are wrong and you have access to the Google. And this looks in good shape. The cover is a little wonky, but this is an original Decca version of the Blues Breakers, John Mayall, and obviously with Eric Clapton, the Beano album, but a UK first press. Oh my God. Coleman, and that's a mono first press. Wow. Going back to ABBA again. Okay. I have these albums, but I thought this is cool because it's a promo copy. I'm going to keep this again, a $2 record promo copy. ABBA now, these would go for quite a bit more. And this is something. Swedish copy of the album, autographed by ABBA. Autographed by ABBA, a Swedish copy of the album. And I remember when Coleman I forgot how he got this, how he acquired this, but it's totally real. It's not just me like yanking your chain and showing you stuff that's not existent. This is the real deal. 1, 2, 3, 4. All members of ABBA. Right? God, how great is that? Lastly, in the Coleman section for right now, I have a copy of this, but this turns out to be a first press, and my press is a 73, 74. This is a 2i of Bitches Brew. I have a copy. My cover is much better, and it probably obviously has a different number because I think that's when the list price was raised. But Bitches Brew, album I've talked about many times, where I bought it in 1970, the year it came out, did not get it, traded it in or got rid of it somehow. And then 3 years later, when I worked in record stores, 3 or 4 years later, I got into it. Someone was playing it, and it finally hit me. A funky rock and soul fusion, amazing, just crazy record, great record. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. All right, so Charlie Watts just passed. The fabulous drummer of the Rolling Stones passed. This is August 24th, 2021. And Charlie was a Gretsch drummer. This is Get Your Ya-Ya's Out with a great exuberant Charlie Watts on the cover of this. This is a 1969 live Madison Square Gardens tour, and this is the year I first saw the Rolling Stones. Saw them at the Oakland Coliseum on this tour, and then I saw them at the end of that year at Altamont, that tempestuous show, which is infamous for so many reasons. It shouldn't be. My favorite Stones album, and I've done rankings and showcases before, but my favorite is this, Beggar's Banquet from 1968. And then, of course, this is in my top, not my top 3, but 1969's Let It Bleed. So around this time, after this, around this time is when I first saw the Stones. And then again, in 1972, they did a series of 4 shows at Winterland, a much smaller venue, and I saw this XL on Main Street tour at Winterland in San Francisco. They did the small venues, these 4 venues for Bill Graham, sort of as a, not a thank you, but for San Francisco because of the tragedy 3 years early in Altamont. And so this is such a great, that was such a great tour. And I saw them several times in the 70s and then a couple times 80s and 90s. So I think that's all I'm going to see the Stones. But I feel fortunate to have seen them in their prime. What a great rock and roll band. Tongue in cheek, I always talk about the Beatles-Stones rivalry, which was a very healthy rivalry. I mean, this whole Beatles-Stones thing, even when I've done my own videos on it, I love them both. They're just so different. But today, this is about Charlie Watts, so I think it's good for all of us to put on a Stones album and just listen to how tight he was in the pocket. Not a flashy drummer, but just a friggin' great drummer. And the quiet man, the quiet Stone, Charlie Watts. Actually, Bill Wyman might have been even more quiet, but that's it. So we'll miss you, Charlie. Get your ya-ya's out, my friend. Take care. Mazzy loves you.